Here is what I'm going to show you today, guys. The coin called PHB, and before it was called PHX, Red Pulse Phoenix. You see the history is pretty short. It appeared on Binance not that long time ago, but just because before that it was a different token. It was on a different blockchain, on Neo. Then they switched to Binance chain, and this what happened. Basically before that the price was something like 180 satoshis and the maximum point was something around 550, so the price rose like 3 times. And here is what happened. So Red Pulse switched to Binance chain, and although it was announced a little bit earlier, somewhere around here, the actual migration happened at this point. And also you can see the volume. Not only Red Pulse made it. For example, the same happened with Mithril. It migrated to Binance chain, and this what happened with Mithril. Of course, after there was a correction and there was a problem for all the altcoins, but now when they bottomed, you see Mithril started to rise again. But even the fact of the migration itself made this huge pump, so something from $0.04 to 0.8, so 4 to 8 cents. So you see it's twice. And it happened just exactly at the same time when the price rose. But actually we should be careful about this one and some others, because now it is listed on the decentralized exchange, not the centralized one. So the price reaction may be a bit tricky. Another one, Atomic Wallet, April 18th. Let's look at the price. April 18th. This is what happened. You see virtually no volume around here, and the rise from 3 cents to 24 cents, 8 times from the initial level. Of course, the volume is really low, but you see the system here, right? There are other coins like Gifto, May 24. Here is what happened with the price. Again, correction and return to the rise. There are some exceptions, for example, Iron, May 4th. You see, basically nothing, but that was the time when all the altcoins were dumping hard. Now you see it's rising again. Anchor coin, May 10th. Again, the dumping period. And here was actually the long period of no reaction to this process, but probably it would depend on what is happening with their partnership with the migration process. But now you see these spikes probably are associated with such events. Block Mason Credit Protocol token, also on a Binance chain, April 23rd, around here. Again, dumping for all altcoins, going back again. And now an interesting part. You should be careful with such things. For example, coin MyWish just applied for the migration to Binance chain. But even with this news, this what happened with the price. Of course, volume is really low as well. But this is how people react to the fact that they have a potential to be migrated to Binance chain. But again, they just made it. It's not necessarily that this will happen. And here's the interesting part. On Binance chain website community.binance.org, you can find the listings and applications of the coins who are wanting to migrate to Binance chain. It's not a that big list, and at the bottom of this list you can find Mithril, which we mentioned, you can find Red Pulse. So it seems like they need like 2-3 weeks to react for the application and for the listing in terms of the price reaction, I mean. And now we can look at those proposals and pick certain coins. And here is Atomic Wallet, by the way. So we can pick certain coins which may have a potential to be listed, and then we can expect the rise in their price. So you can actually sort it on the replies or the views, and you can see which are the most interesting for the community. For example, Phantom token, and they are doing the partnership with Binance chain, again announcing May 22nd. Here is what is happening with the price. It's actually started to rise even earlier than that announcement, and the volume here is not that bad as well. So here is my point. Of course, it's really risky to chase such things, especially it would be risky to pick some really unknown coins which may not have a chance to be listed and their application will not pass. On the other hand, with every risk, we have a really high potential for the gains. So if you are looking for this sort of opportunities, there you go. It's actually somehow similar with IEOs. Like initially people were careful, they didn't know what will happen, and not so many people were trying to participate in IEOs. And then in fact, after the listing, despite the price of those coins went to the level that is much higher than the IEO price, then eventually the price went lower, then we had a massive dump. But again, even after that, we recently saw the reversal. And although for some of them there is a correction, but in general, the trend for all of them is very similar. And even those who bought those coins after the listing and survived through the dump, they can still be in profit if they will sell on the following pump. So there is kind of similar thing for or migration of the coins to Binance chain. It is new, not so many people are aware of that, and as soon as it will become the mainstream, the same as IEO, because Binance is pretty much making the hype around such things, so you may expect that this would be really popular. So if you want to come early, there's your chance. Again, I must repeat, such things are risky and you may never get any profits or even be in a loss if you'll buy some of those coins. And of course, it's even riskier to buy them right now after the pump. So anyway, this is in a sense very similar to IOs in terms of being a high risk but also potentially very high return. So here's your opportunity on the relatively slowly growing market for the altcoins. And if you'll try one of those, I wish you to be in a profit. And that is it for today. Thank you for watching.